outside. Allah changed her heart from one of our enemies into one of our biggest supporters, and she sends you her love and asks for your prayers. So that is the work that Cair makes possible. Thank you all of you for your generosity, and Allah bless you, accept from you. And without further ado, I think we have to get Abdullah. Yeah, even though you donated, you still got to finish the job tonight, Habibi. And Allah bless you. Jazakallah khair for your generosity. I'm excited to hear from Ilhan and Omar. We got a great program, and then we finish with some great comedy with Abdullah Jassim, inshallah. And then there's a special auction for those who want some of the beautiful sports memorabilia. But I'm really looking forward to the rest of the program. Thank you guys. Allah bless you. I'm humbled to serve with you guys our faith and our living in our country. Jazakumullah khairan. And with that, actually, I believe I'm responsible for introducing the first Somali American refugee, hijab sporting congresswoman in the history of the world, who's doing phenomenal work. Last time I met with her, she's too busy and we were literally walking. I got to sneak into Congress with her, literally. I was like in an elevator surrounded by congressmen. And we're talking about how we get justice for people wrongfully arrested, how we can defend civil rights. And look, there's things we agree on, there's things we vehemently disagree on, but no matter what, we're brothers and sisters and we're going to fight for justice for our community. I'm proud to call you my sister, and without further ado, we'll be honored to welcome you here, inshallah, on the stage to share some inspiring words with our community. Without further ado, everyone, Congresswoman Ilhan Omar.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Thank you, Sister Khalila, for sharing your story. Thank you, Hassan, for relaying Lexi's wonderful transformation. I am honored to receive it, and we should all send her a prayer to make sure that she is strong in what she has to deal with because of the change that she's making. Thank you all so much. I want to thank Cair Florida for hosting us tonight, especially Hassan for making this particular invitation for me to come up here. I'm really excited to be here with you all. Events at Cair always feel like a little bit of homecoming, or perhaps a return to the crime, for the scene of the crime. Outside today was a beautiful sight of democracy at display. There are people who have shown up to show their dissent, and people who are here to support us. And that is really the beauty of our democracy. The one great thing that every single person is out there carrying is our flag. Because at the end of the day, the things that unite us is that we are all Americans. Regardless of our faith, our ethnicity, we all pledge allegiance to the same flag, and that we are all bound by our wonderful Constitution, a Constitution that gives us equal rights under the law. So whether they are out there protesting me or us, or in here supporting me or us, the important thing is that we, as a country, support them and their ability to organize. We gathered today nearly 10 months to the day when I was sworn into office. So I wanted to give you guys a little update as I reflect in my time in Congress. So here are some of the things that I've learned in this time. Almost everywhere that I go, people expect me to be a little taller than I am. They expect me to be at least 6 feet tall with a big stature because they expect that you have to be big and tall in order to stand up to all the bullies, in Congress and in our country. But one of the most important lessons that I've learned that it's really hard to be a unicorn in Congress and to still choose to show up as your full self. I've learned that it is controversial to fight for human rights. It's controversial to believe in world peace and to believe it's possible. I've learned that it's controversial to think that we should all have access to dignified life. That you are seen as a threat for wanting to end homelessness, because ending homelessness challenges the status quo somehow. I've learned that introducing a universal school meals bill to make sure no child in America goes to school with an empty stomach is also controversial. Introducing a bill to cancel out student debt to free young people from the shackles of debt so that they have an ability to buy a home or raise a family is seen as controversial. Working to make sure people in mobile homes aren't being uprooted from the communities they have built, as I did in one of the first bills I introduced in Congress, is controversial. Introducing the Paul's Act, named after Paul Manafort, to put rules in place for foreign lobbyists to have them be more accountable and transparent is controversial, and I'll let you guess why that is controversial. Introducing a pilot program to guarantee jobs to every American who wants one, just as Martin Luther King Jr. and Franklin Roosevelt proposed, is seen as controversial. I'm seen as controversial when I fight to pay federal workers for childcare during a government shutdown. I'm seen as controversial for fighting for us to live in an environment where we can breathe fresh air and drink clean water. For wanting to end the welfare system for fossil fuel companies. I recite this list because they are the issues I care about. They're the things that I fight for. They are rooted in the universal values that are at the core of our democracy. And they are issues that are overwhelmingly supported by the American people. So even though there is a squeeze in Washington, and sometimes it's hard for us to move our progressive agenda. And people ask me all the time, Ilhan, how do you handle all of the pressures that are on you? I tell them it is joyful to represent the people you love, the state you love, the country you love, doing the work you love. There is hope, there is action, there is excitement, there is the implementation of the palace of joy that exists and rests with every single person in this country and in this room. It is because of that politics of joy that my constituents came out and moved forward us in the primary with 6 people. It's because of that politics of joy that we had 100,000 more votes from people who entrusted their vote in me than anyone else who had ever represented them in that district. It is that politics of joy that allowed us to shatter a state record, a national record in voting, and not just in making history. That's what you can be part of. when you vote, when you advocate, when you march, when you rally, and when you leverage your voice for good. And insisting that our values are going to be part of the values that govern our democracy is important. So sure, you might get death threats. Sure, you might have people parked in front of your house monitoring who comes in, who goes out, what kind of groceries that you might have. Sure, you might have a deranged man in the White House obsessing over you. Sure, people might share pictures of you in your adulthood 4 years before you were even born, learning to be a terrorist. But that's our democracy, and it's messy. So the only thing I ask of you tonight is to get involved and to stay involved. Build community, march, advocate, vote, and run for office. As Plato said, one of the penalties for refusing to participate in politics is that you end up being governed by your inferiors. It is when we participate that we have the chance to build the America I dreamed about as a kid in that refugee camp. It is through participation that we have the chance to create the America we deserve. Because while some people might chant "send her back," I am very confident that my constituents will send me back every single week to represent them in Congress. So I wake up every single morning, I get dressed, and I walk out of that apartment, and I say, "Tawakkal ala Allahi wa kafa billahi wakila." I know God is with me and His people are with me, and I am going to prevail because we deserve a seat at that table, and we are no longer going to be asking for it, but demanding it. So thank you so much for having me tonight and allowing me to celebrate with you. God bless you, and God bless the United States of America.